Hey you guys, ML Spanky here, back with another important video. Like I said, I didn't want to make false promises on videos. I wanted everything to have meaning, passion, and good thought process behind it. You know, nothing spur of the moment, everything thought through. And today, I'm going to talk about the biggest flaw with AA in NA in general. I think it's they always say the program, their slogan, I believe, it works if you work it, which, if you noticed, a lot of the people who go into AA, they do the 90 meetings, 90 days thing, and that usually goes really well for them. Um, and then, they keep going, but, usually after about, I would say 6 months to a year, relapse starts happening, sometimes sooner, sometimes it doesn't even work at all. But I think, I mean, they say if you work the program, the success rate is like crazy high, but I know from leaving a rehab, it's like 11% success rate or something like that. It might even be lower than 10. I'm not sure. I know it's super low. I know it's less than 15 for sure. I'm pretty sure it's lower than 10 though. Um, and in rehab, all they're teaching you basically about is NA and AA. And the reason why it works so well for the 90 meetings in 90 days is you always have a task. You're probably got a job. You're probably also going to some sort of treatment. And then on top of it, you're going to these meetings. So you have no spare time. So that accomplishes a lot of things. It's the same reason why they really, 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 in rehab, not that jobs are bad, but they want you to be out working like as soon as you get out. You know what I mean? Why? It's very, very simple, to keep the mind busy. All right, because if you keep the mind busy, you don't have to fix the core problem. That's why the NA programs and AA. Well, I don't know. I don't know about AA because I can't speak, because I'm not an alcoholic. But the NA program specifically, and why it never worked for me. For one, I didn't believe in its policies, and they literally tell you, if you don't do it this way, you're gonna fail. You can't succeed. Which I think is asinine. I think that anyone can do things the way they want to do it. Like, I'm not saying that their way is wrong. All right, it works for people, clearly. For some people, it's the best thing that's ever happened to them. But you will also notice with those people, for the majority of them, NA is their life. There is nothing but NA. I mean, seriously, they're going around, they're speaking, they're doing multiple programs a day, they are consumed by it. Their free time is spent in NA, which I'm not saying is necessarily wrong. What I am saying though is that the core problem is not even being addressed here. Okay, we think that addiction is just addiction. I'm 100% convinced that we are wrong about that. I think there are a few people, maybe, like, that don't have a mental health issue related, as well as being a drug addict. I mean, maybe alcoholics, it's a little less common, but I still don't think so. I just think alcoholics socially acceptable, so people use it, and it's not like, if I use heroin to cope, I'm a piece of shit. But if you go to the bar every night, no one gives a fuck, right? As long as you don't kill anybody driving home, or you take a cab or something. So it's just a lot more socially acceptable. I still think, though, that the core issue and the underlining issue and what causes addiction definitely has to do with mental health. Um, I'll be honest. I am someone who, if I got into a list of what I've been diagnosed, misdiagnosed, what they think I'm at right now, what medications I've tried, what medication, I've been on a lot of different things, and varying success rates. Which, by the way, um, I'm gonna do a video on Lexapro. I've heard a lot of good things about it. But there's some side effects you should watch out for, and I'm quite sure I'm having one of them. So I'm gonna talk to my doctor just to make sure. I'll probably end up canceling it. I'm gonna explain my experience so you guys are aware, because a lot of people tolerate this medication really well, and yeah, in short, vision changes. In short, so which I actually found out that that was a real side effect because I got a new pair of glasses, so I thought it was that, and I went back and I'm like, yo, these ain't right. And we did another test and got the same conclusion. And then I was on YouTube doing some searching. My doctor didn't even warn me about this, and yeah, they said it can affect muscles in the eye. So if you have like blurred or double vision or halos or anything like that, see your doctor immediately. So I called and left a message, and hopefully they get back to me. It's a little off topic, but I think I'm going to do a review on it from my personal experience, just so there are a lot of those out there. I could do a review on a lot of different medications. Honestly, I've been on a lot, so if you are curious or you want me to go into that and review a few of the things, I've been on SSRIs, SNDRIs, NDRI, and those are all different types of antidepressants. Those are the three main different types. I've also been on a bipolar medication called damn, it's been so long. It's not lithium, it's the other L1. Um Lamictal. Lamictal. Yes, that is it. Um and honestly, I've been on a bunch of other crap. I'm messed up in the head, it's just. But I think I was also misdiagnosed by a lot of people when I was using, because that's where most of these diagnoses and random medications came from, was during my heavy use. I was also diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, which I to this day don't know if I have or do have, because I can't tell if that was just the addiction or if that is really something that I struggle with, because I feel now it's much different, but I still see some of the symptoms of it. So, and BPD has it's often misdiagnosed. It's probably the most misdiagnosed mental illness of everything, and it gets very confused with bipolar disorder, which I don't have. The difference between the massive difference that I don't understand to doctors miss is like bipolar disorder. Like they go on spells, like sprees, like 7 days. They're just up and wild. You know what I'm saying? Whereas BPD, you're more like I can cry, I can smile, and I can be angry all in a matter of an hour, which it used to be a lot worse than it is, which honestly still can happen. I can be having a great day and one thing can trigger me, and then, it's just, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I definitely got a little off topic there. We're going to go back to the main thing, and sorry about that. But I figured I'd throw that in there just in case that is something that you guys are interested in. But yeah, it also further confirms my point that the biggest problem with it and why we see so much relapse in NA, and they always, oh, it works if you work it bullshit, is because, bull crap, sorry, I shouldn't sorry, I'm trying not to swear in my videos, yeah, sorry about that, but I'm not gonna edit it out, because it really is, at the end of the day. I guess I could just mute it, but um, I don't got enough viewers for it to matter. I guess if it ever gets to the point, we'll worry about that later. The the underlining issue. That's why they always tell you get to work, get to this, keep that mind busy. Why? So you don't ever think. All right. I can give a perfect example of this for sure, because my as most of you know, my lover passed away last year, and hands down, okay, what broke her in half is not being able to work because she had to deal with her mind all day. It's no different than someone going to an AA program or an NA program nonstop. All right, because when you're doing stuff, you don't have time to think about what's going on in your head. But when you don't have anything to do, that shit just comes out blast. And that's why we use drugs to escape. That's why, you know, that's that's why this is a massive problem with AA. I think we are all ignoring, like, we want to say addiction is a disease, and there may be some truth to that. I've always been kind of on the fence about it. I think it's a choice, but I do think like some people could shoot heroin and never do it again, whereas I feel like others would shoot it and never stop. So I do think there is some truth to that, just because there's choice. If you choose to smoke cigarettes and get cancer, I know people are gonna flame me for this, but if you choose to smoke cigarettes and get cancer, people don't, see what I'm saying? You see, people don't say that. it's not a disease because you smoked cigarettes, right? I mean, they acknowledge what it is. And by definition, I'm just going to throw this out there before any of you say anything. If you look up the definition of disease, hands down, addiction fits by the scientific definition that you will find in a Webster's dictionary, in a Google search, anywhere. It fits it. It fits it. All right. But I'm not here to argue that. All right. My main point of all of this is we're missing a huge part in recovery that's not being addressed, and that is why we are the way we are, why we are so broken, why we are so hurt, what we went through in life that destroyed us, and we don't know how to fix that. And masking the problem is great until this happens. Think about the fact that we have a 900% suicide rate increase. Why do you think that is? Because most of us are robots who go to work, they do what they gotta do, they come home, they have maybe 2 to 3 hours of relaxation time, and then they go back and repeat, rinse and repeat, and the weekend is the only time some people get a break, or if weekdays, depending on their type of job, right? 900% suicide rate increase, okay? Just think about that. It's not a small number. That's massive, right? And what does it all stem from? People not being able to work. Why? 'Cause now they're finally at home with their thoughts. So I think we really need to look into this, and I think people in general who are using, who don't want to admit to themselves, there's probably an underlining issue. This is the best way I can say it is I've never met someone who is genuinely happy and truly love their life and also does heroin. I just haven't. I haven't. Myself included. The one when I was genuinely happy, I didn't have a desire. I didn't. Now, oh fuck yeah, I have a desire. I'm staying sober, but that's because I'm trying to honor that beautiful girl in the corner. You see her next to the Shaggy. Sorry, I'm still not used to the left and right thing, but yeah, it was easy. I mean, it just was. There were definitely times where it was hard, but at the same time, like I knew, what do I love more? I knew no doubt it was being with her. It was spending time with her. It was she was in my world, and at that point, heroin didn't have that grasp. It didn't have that craving. It didn't have that wicked hold. You know what I'm saying? And mental health was different. I was in a much better state. I was, I was living in a different area. I was, really getting my life together. Things were really looking up. There were a lot of positives going on around me. And at the end of the day, one day I just noticed, I was like, dude, I woke up today and I don't want to shoot dope. Like that's crazy because it's something that I thought I'd feel for the rest of my life. Granted, it is now worse probably than it's ever been, but that's to be expected when you have tragic events. Further proving my point that, AA and NA can be great. It really can for some people. But as soon as you stop committing 150% of yourself to that program, you're going to fail. That's why they say it works if you work it, but it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't have to consume yourself with something, because all you're doing is trading one addiction for the other. Hands down, we are not fixing the problem. That's my point. We are literally, just because it's not a substance, you're trading it. You're like, okay, I'm going to go from shooting dope all day to working at an 8 nonstop and then go home and sleep. That's my life. You're literally trading one addiction for another. Your root cause is not affected. Who you are, not affected. You lose a job, you stop going to AA, you relapse. It's proven, basically, right? And that's why I'm not against it, because I've seen it work for some people, but I really don't like their beliefs that only our way is the right way. I mean, I literally got kicked out of a rehab because I told them, like, I don't believe in none of this, like, I'm going to do it my way. I remember, I'll tell the story and then I'll end the video, but I remember we were doing this group activity in rehab, right? And this one guy, and you basically get up, you sit in the chair, everyone's sitting in a circle, and you sit in the center chair, and you pretend that your drug of choice is in front of you, and you pretend what you would say to it. So most people get up there and they're like, you know, whether it's crack, heroin, meth, whatever, like, you ruined my life, I hate you, you know, you did this, you did that, I'm never touching you again, you took my family away, you took this, and you know, they sound, you know, whatever, I guess, but like, to me, I was like, that's some fake ass shit. So I had a different mindset. I'm gonna be honest, if that was right in front of me, especially during that point in my life, I'm grabbing a belt, I'm tying it up, and I'm, woo, you know what I'm saying? We're going places, baby. So this guy gets up, and he wanted to stay, but insurance wouldn't pay for it. He knew he wasn't ready. He's like, I'm going home in 2 days, and I'm scared as hell that I'm gonna come right back to you. In fact, I almost have no doubt I'm gonna come right back to you. I'm not ready to leave. People booed this man. People booed this man, right? Because he didn't say all that bullshit. Because you know what? That dude that was just up saying all that about meth, this is like his 5th time at rehab, dude. He fucking went home and did meth. And, you know, like, you're going to bash someone for being honest? You want us all to be fake? So I immediately raised my hand. I'm like, yo, I'm going to go up there. And I sat down and I'm like, unlike everybody else in here who just booed for a man who being honest, I'm going to be real with you, all right? And you're all liars, because guess what? If there was a rig and a needle right here in front of me, yeah, well, you know what I mean. If there was a rig with dope in front of me, I'm doing it, bro. I'll do it right in front of y'all. I'm tying it, hitting the vein, we going places. End of story. That's what I would do. That's what all of you would do if it was sitting right in front of your face right now, all right? Maybe you want to feel different. Maybe you don't want to feel that way, but in reality, if this was on your plate, you'd eat that shit up. Okay? And then I got up. People, two or three people clapped. The rest like booed. I was like, whatever. And then, yeah, I continued. Basically, they told me when I ended up getting kicked out that it was because I would not follow their program and I did not take it seriously. But I did take it seriously. I just didn't tell them what they wanted to hear. I told them how I felt, where I was at, what I was going through. And that was never addressed. That was never helped. There was never anything for it. You know? It was just follow this program, do the 12 steps, your life will be okay. Doesn't matter about all of your other issues. Just do this. It's a Band-Aid fix that they slap on and basically brainwash a bunch of people with. Again, this is my opinion. This has been my experience. And for some of you, it can be great. But at the same time, I have to be honest and put my experience out there. This is ML Spanky, as you can see above. I hope you guys like the background. If you made it to the end and this does resonate with you, please like, share, subscribe. It is the only way this is ever going to grow and reach more people. Feel free to message on Reddit or comment on the video, questions, anything. And yeah, if you want me to go in on either medication I've tried or you want to know about certain medications, because I'm not even going to tell you how many I've been through, but it's a lot. And yeah, I can give opinions on a lot of them. So, no, not opinions, my experiences, because everyone's experience will be different. So something that was really bad for me could be really good for you. You know what I'm saying? So please take everything that I said with this video with that in mind. At the end of the day, it's how I feel about it. Okay? If it's working for you, if you don't think you have a mental health issue, if your life is going great, that's good. That's great for you. I'm really happy for that. But for me, it just never worked. So I had to say something. All right. Thanks for checking out my video, guys. Peace.